And with that, we are live with a Halloween episode tonight. Special Halloween episode. I'm talking with a lisp because I have fangs, so this ought to be very interesting to be a DM with a lisp. But I am the Crone tonight. I'll take off my glasses so you can see the full effect. Ah! And we have Dirok trying to dress up as a barbarian. He's having a little trouble with his orc fangs.
Yeah. I tried doing fangs and just put them on the bottom to be tusks, but they don't want to stay in. They were staying in yesterday. Don't know why they don't want to stay in today. And my shoulder armor was also staying together yesterday, and it doesn't want to stay together now.
Oh, we just are falling apart tonight. And then we have Riz, who has his usual mask on. Riz looks kind of normal. Mike has...
He's the one that's out of character tonight.
Yeah. Mike has a breastplate on and has his Dawn Watch shield. He's getting back so you can see it all. There's his Dawn Watch shield and his flail. He's all set to do battle. What are those flails? What are they made of?
I'm gonna go with probably aluminum or iron. It's actually decently heavy.
Huh. And then we have our Dragonborn Iphodus. Aha! There he is, staring you down.
Try to rob you if you're flinging a flail around.
Let alone a two-headed flail.
I may ditch the fangs partway through if I get tired of lisping all night. They're very difficult to talk. I tried to use the single ones, but they just, like Dirok is having troubles with, I just couldn't get them to stay stuck. So I went to the full fangs, and that kind of fills your mouth. You don't have much to talk with. I also can't drink water. I'll drool. So at some point I'm going to have to take my fangs out, I think. But this will give you the effect of the crone who is waiting. She's poised, waiting for you, dearies.
I can't either. I can't close my mouth to actually suck through the straw.
Yeah. All right. So I will introduce you guys to your scenarios. Things finished last week. The Lava Saga threw a massive sleep spell on you, leaving you helpless in the mansion. And when you awake, you're not sure you're awake at all. You awake to darkness.
Are we able to act?
At first, you think you are still unconscious, but little by little, your eyes begin to adjust to the darkness, and let me shift something here. And you begin to notice things around you. You appear to be in some kind of chapel.
Hello.
Sound
Reporters, T-Rock.
Sound off.
I'm here. Did I fall asleep? That's not supposed to happen.
Durock, kick.
What happened?
Are we all together?
Where's Sylvia?
I don't know, but she might have gotten away. I don't entirely.
Sylvia
She might
appears
not have
to be
been
missing.
She might not have been affected.
It's possible.
That is a very large pumpkin.
It is
I don't like
indeed.
the look of it. I don't like pumpkins. People get all obsessed with their flavors.
I'm checking over myself. Do I have everything that was equipped?
Yes.
Okay.
You're fully equipped, and
Oh,
you appear to be in full health.
POTUS checks whether or not he still has the sun sword.
But at the front of the chapel, you can see evidence of items that give me a religion check, anyone who wants to.
I am very religious with -1.
Me too. I am the most religious.
Beat me. I rolled a 2.
Oh yeah, 0.
But the undead person is the most religious of all.
I've just been around the block a few times, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm really thankful I have this.
If Otis and Victor see broken items all over, scattered amidst the ruins of the chapel, that appear to have been dedicated to Ilmater, the god or goddess, sometimes represented as either, of pain and suffering. Suffering Fuckatash!
This doesn't look good. I don't like this at all.
What is wrong?
We appear to be in a chapel of Ilmater.
The god parenthesis S of pain and suffering. Not good news.
No,
What,
some people think that.
what do you-
Ilmater is for endurance through pain and suffering. It doesn't matter now. If most people think he is the bad guy, he's not actually not that bad. He and Lathander work closely in some cases. In any case, what types of objects are here? Let me come take a look. Can I tell what if they're like used in rituals or if they're just like?
There's just about everything. There are broken items that would have been used in rites. There are broken statuary and so forth.
Or am I not going the right way?
You're going towards the pumpkin.
Towards the
I thought
pumpkin, which is where the altar would have been, but the altar itself is pretty well broken. Only the dais remains.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's fine. And the pumpkin, as you step kind of nearer and back from it, there is actual heat coming from the pumpkin. The doors to the north are gapped slightly and hang off on one hinge each. They're kind of busted. And then there is a door to the east as well. A pair of doors.
Vlad will flip down his eye patch. Unfortunately, I would have an eye patch if I had been able to find one. But Vlad will flip down his eye patch and peer through the crack in the door.
You don't immediately see anything that is undead in this area, although...
Victor.
Yes, right, exactly. Although there are certainly shadows and strange things that seem to hover around the edges in ways that make you uneasy.
Well, there is nothing undead here, not currently at least.
Are you sure about that?
I generally excuse
Nothing.
you.
How about this? Nothing unexpected.
But there do seem to be shadows of spirits stationed here. Not waiting for us, but appear to be more trapped than...
Station, like guards.
No, they appear to be more... They don't appear to be fully capable of action. They seem to be more trapped here by an outside force. Kind of like us.
The pumpkin,
We have something in common.
the pumpkin begins to laugh with a
POTUS moves between, he interposes himself between the group, puts up a shield, and brings out the blade and points it towards it. Phalanx.
The glow gets brighter and brighter, and hovering suddenly in the air above the pumpkin is what appears to be the image of, and for some reason it decided to do strange things,
Palpatine.
more or less.
Execute Order 66.
Let me try this again. A very familiar face.
I need to reorder them. Still see the pumpkin on. Ah! Put the pumpkin.
Nice saga.
I take out my spear and shield.
What do you want, witch?
You've inflamed my son's attitude a bit, it seems. So he has a gift for you. A game, if you will. You're in an old manor that he has claimed. You need to find your way out, and that won't be easy. I have a gift for you, too. The pumpkin. And she tosses it down on the carpet in front of you, and all at once there is an explosion of fire.
Ugh, you people are terrible at giving gifts.
You're not wrong.
And she throws a fireball spell, and I get her seat here, or I can find it.
I suddenly wish I was closer to a POTUS.
I'm glad you had one job.
Oh, wait. We see a second one now?
Second what?
I see two Baba Lasagas.
Oh, that's probably because I was trying to ignore that one. That's because I was trying to get something up and accidentally fold her up.
Pay no mind to the man behind the curtain.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly what I was thinking.
Are we doing Dex?
Yes, you'll be doing a deck save.
Who will?
I think it's all of us.
I assume danger sense.
Bye, Victor.
All right, you need a DC 19.
Oh.
My danger sense did not work.
Let's see, who are we missing? Aha!
All of us
You
failed.
all will take 28 damage.
Ouch.
Man.
Wait. Nah. I take half.
Because of fire?
This is the first time I've taken fire damage this campaign. So it was 28,
28.
Yeah.
Ugh.
14.
You know how long it takes to get pumpkin seeds out of a wolf pelt?
I don't think she cares, Victor.
With that, she fades away. The vision of her fades away, and in her place, you see the crumpled form of our abbot in his celestial form.
Otis does not lower the shield or the sword.
He is moaning and he is covered in blood.
We recognize him as the abbot that we've seen before.
Yes.
Trust nothing here.
I need to do a wisdom save for myself to see if I act.
Jirok.
Yeah, I start moving towards him.
Otis joins him.
I have my shield and spear at the ready.
At
You take
least
the
let
right,
me back you up first.
you take the right, I'll take the left.
God, the thunder damnation.
Abbott?
Can you hear us?
Oh, help me! Help
Good.
me!
Good. You will pay for your treachery now.
I don't think that this is the real abbot.
I don't hear him. I'm gonna go and attack.
As you are you actually moving up to him?
Yep, I'm moving up to attack him.
Okay. As you do,
Vlad takes a
he
good
completely melts and becomes an amorphous blob of red ooze.
I look up to my spear because
Oh,
I would
no.
have attacked.
That one has definitely gone bad.
And with that, roll initiative.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I don't know what's happened. Ever since last Sunday, I haven't been able to roll anything above. Well, I've rolled 2 things above.
Oh no, I do not like no.
Am I the only one
don't
in
like
double
that.
digits?
Yes.
Oh no, this is not good.
I'm probably at the bottom of the order.
I
I
think
feel
so.
like I feel like everybody except Jirok is in a completely different initiative.
I have +5 in advantage, so I always
Everybody
feel that
except
way.
for Jirok.
Yeah, so I always feel this every time.
Jirok gets 3 turns before anybody else gets.
Surprise round, man.
Okay. Jirok, you get your first attack.
I fly into a rage.
No, not two-hander. I'm using one-hander. And second attack.
Okay. Why do I not have?
Oh, that's alright.
Alright, why is it not giving me my... There. And that hits. And as I said earlier in the evening to you, all rolls will be open on this, so you will know what is going on. So it takes, let's see what its resistances are. You are using a magical weapon.
Yep.
it takes the full damage, so it takes 25 damage.
Nice. And that will end my turn.
All right. And it is the slime creature's turn. It reaches up and it attempts to strike you with its pseudopod.
I don't like that. I'm assuming I don't like that.
18.
Just hits me.
You will take 6 bludgeoning damage, and you will need to give me a wisdom save.
Okay.
Is not reduced now.
Yeah, I figured that was the only one that I don't have. All right, you said wisdom save?
Yes.
I'm assuming that's a fail.
That is a fail. You needed a 15. You also will take a 6 psychic damage.
Oh, wait, so I'm taking the 6 bludgeoning, the 6 psychic, and an additional 6 psychic? Or is that...
Yes. Let's see. I've got to actually cast this. I was looking at the 6 with this. Oh, whoa.
That doesn't look like 6. That looks like 24.
That looks like 24. Yes, it does. You took a whale of a lot of damage.
Ouch.
Are you
6.
down?
No, I'm still up. And then 24. Yeah, I'm still alive.
Some of it you could cut in half. All
Not
right.
the psychic. I take full psychic damage. Psychic is the only thing my rage doesn't protect me against.
Now, on the next turn, you have to roll a d4 and subtract it from your attack.
A d4 and subtract it. Okay.
Yeah.
My attack or my damage?
The hit, not the damage.
Okay.
Also, any ability check.
Ephotis.
Hold up the sun, but couldn't say I'm on a tar. And he runs up, and he is going to, as he runs up, he's going to cast Wrathful Smite. So if Wrathful Smite, if I hit on my attacks, it'll take an additional 1d6 psychic damage, and it must make a Wisdom saving throw or be frightened of me. And then it only fades away if it takes an action to make a Wisdom check, which it has disadvantage on against my spell save.
Okay, so make your attack.
Is nasty, man.
Either of those hit.
Those hit.
And, of course, he's dead.
Okay, so he took 15 damage. And it is Victor's turn.
Ugh. What is that thing?
Something unholy.
And Victor, you would be particularly noticing this with kind of your wolf senses, but you realize there's quite a sulfurous odor coming out of this thing.
Ugh. Smells like rotten eggs in here. I think it's sulfur. Don't get too close before we kill it. I have a feeling.
It's a bit late for that.
And let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and bring down a moonbeam on. Let's see. And if it's a shape changer, which I think it is, then it has the disadvantage.
Okay. Constitution save. Oh, but it's disadvantage. Too bad. It loses. It takes 8 radiant damage. And Vlad?
Vlad is making. Okay, yeah. Vlad, is Durok raging?
Yes,
Yes.
Duroc is raging.
Vlad is going to cast Life Transference, which is gonna hurt me. So Durok regains 32 hit points,
Nice.
and I take 16 necrotic damage. But it restores hit points, and I was level 2 spell, so you also regain an additional 4 hit points. So a total of 32, 36 points of healing.
So another 4, you said?
Yeah.
And since I cast a thing that heals someone else, I also get my domain ability, which heals me in turn. I don't have my books though, so I will be right. But my
And
turn is over.
it is Durok's turn.
I'm getting confused. I'm being hit, and then I'm not being hit.
Hit,
I'm
heal,
hurt,
hit,
now I'm not
heal, hit, heal.
Yep. Hit. And possibly another hit.
Yes, it is.
Alright. And that will end my turn.
That is
am done.
26. And it is Ublex's turn, and it
Go away.
will attempt to rinse and repeat on you.
I should have kept
Oh,
Bane.
wait. Oh. I forgot. I actually have to do a minus thing for my hit.
Yeah, that's true.
Roll.
So roll
1d4, right?
1d4.
1d4. So it'll be a 15 and a 12 for my hit.
The 15 will hit, so it gets back 13 points.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that thing.
And you also have to roll that on your save against the attack.
So
But
I do
it did
another
not
wisdom
hit.
save?
It did not hit on the pseudopod, therefore it cannot use the second attack on you. But so you are still at D4 because it did not hit again.
Okay.
All
At least I
right.
don't take anything this time.
Yep. And it is Fotis' turn.
We are going to Sunblade.
Whack, whack. The first one hits, yeah. 2 hits on that, so 10 radiant damage. It is starting to melt and fall into little pieces. It's not looking in good shape. It's starting to like fall apart like jello that's been whacked with a knife. Victor.
Keep it up.
Alright. Moonbeam's gonna keep on burning. Since I didn't have to move it, I can go ahead and toss in some fire as well.
Okay, first on the moonbeam, it failed and takes the 7, so let me get that. And then on the fire, which is a hit, and the entire jello form seems to pull back and retract in on itself when it is hit by the produced flame. It seems to really have disliked that flame.
It doesn't get along with fire. Use it if you can.
I don't
Bland.
think most things get along with fire.
Less than usual.
You notice
Yeah.
that the jello is actually melting like jello that's been heated. What remains of it?
I will use my action to wrap myself in band because that hurt a lot.
Okay.
That is 5, 9 plus for level 9, 18 points of damage.
And is that all you're doing this round?
Yes, that is my action,
Yes.
and I don't have anything that I can do for my.
Okay. Duroc, it's back to you.
Rinse and repeat. And I have to do a D4 again, you said?
Yes.
Roll 1D4 is a 1, so a 18
Both
and a 14.
hit. They both hit.
Yes.
And that wipes out the funny-looking jello.
He just stabs in. It's like stirring up noodles with your utensil when you're ready.
Duroc manages to eliminate the slime, the ooze.
Yeah.
It didn't explode.
Hold on.
That'd be wrong.
Say that again, Victor.
He said it didn't explode. He's glad to be wrong. He had a hunch.
I gain 9 hit points and they go away immediately because we're not in combat.
All right, you are out of combat for the time being.
Well, they're temporary hit points, so they stay with you. They're like a buffer.
Oh, they go away after a rest or something?
Long rest.
Long rest.
Oh, never mind. I get 9 hit points in my temporary pool.
Yep. Are there any of you hurt? Come here, I can help.
I could use a little patching up, but I'm not too bad.
I will use my bandager.
It has only hurt my sensibilities.
So how much?
Okay, is Gerard coming for healing as well?
Yes. He's also going to say,
I think we were wrong about the abbot. He was not really an angel. He was really ooze.
Again, never mind.
Alright, how much do I get healed for?
You get healed 6 plus 2 is 8 plus 9 is 17, and Derek gets healed 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 9 is...
you cut out at the end. 8 plus 2.
If Otis is 17, Derek is 19.
19.
I'm at full.
I will then eat a good...
Whoops! I forgot to put the plus sign. I am not at 19 health.
That's weird. It seems that my actual figure is not... My portrait is not linked to my character sheet. Doesn't matter. I can do everything manually.
Yeah, it's because it's still linked to the other sheet.
Oh, no, I actually pulled over the, like, I just pulled over a new guy. Anyway. What was that?
Well, it was the abbot, and when we killed him, he turned to ooze.
It was not the abbot. We're in some sort of nightmare hills.
Everything around
I
you.
wouldn't really know to ask in character, but has Girak like forgotten anything from that memory eating thing?
Let me
I don't
see.
know, did I?
Possibly. You are correct that it could be.
Also, Madame DM, apparently our sound, the dice is coming in good, but the sound on the video is coming in on the street.
What? They're not hearing you guys?
Very quiet. Lynn says the audio is very.
The audio is full blast. Let me see what I can do on Discord. Everything is at maximum. I have nothing I can turn up. Everything is full max.
Alright. Okay. Alright, so what do we do now?
Well, we need to find our way out of this house before this house of another death house. Another death house.
I'm really sick of these houses that are trying to.
As am I. Shall we try the...
Victor will start making a map. He has a feeling that it will come in handy.
Alright, Epotus comes up to the door and kicks it.
Well,
tries to, at least.
alright.
I thought it was already open. And
Uh,
he's going the other way.
Give
it
me a
says-
strength
it says
roll,
beats are
Fotis.
the-
Give me a
Okay.
strength roll.
It's a straight strength.
Yes.
Booyah!
The door that you hit with your foot splinters and out into the hall. And so
It
one
was
of the
an inward opening door.
It's not anymore.
they were hanging, they wouldn't open really very well at all, so they were pretty much out of commission. You can see a pair of doors across from you and an odd brown set of pool. Time to get rid of those. I'm having more and more trouble pronouncing my words. You can see an odd brown pool lying on the floor like something melted down the steps of some kind. There are steps to your left, and there are doors directly across from you.
Ooh, we still have the fog of war up.
You still have what?
You can't see that next room.
Yeah.
You've got dynamic
Yeah, we
lighting
can't see
as
the
well.
next room.
You can't see. Oh, okay.
Then we can't go through either, it looks like.
I got you.
Epotus, why are you continually bashing your head against this wall of invisible force?
Because I'm really tired of your bullshit.
That answer.
Harsh but fair.
That's me in a nutshell. Alright.
We can't go through the door, okay.
Alright, so you know what? I'm just gonna say, yeah, sure, walk right out. Okay, cool, yeah.
I want to inspect the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna walk out, I don't care. I'm an orc.
That's what Vlad was doing. Does it appear to be, in my vast medical training, does this appear to be...
It looks a lot like the melted ooze that you left on the dais, actually. It has a kind of a thick-looking consistency, like it was once melted jello, but it's kind of congealed on the floor.
This must have been another abbot.
Vlad will take a step back and cast Sacred Flame. Of course, I rolled max damage on that.
It's also radiant, not fire.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought you were gonna try to, like, ignite it, like oil.
Nope.
That's what I was gonna say about doing.
If it's alive, it's gonna get hurt. Does it appear to react in any sort of way when I hit it with the...
It kind of shudders for a moment, but it doesn't actually do anything. It just kind of sits there. It was more like a physical effect of kind of a blast effect on the jello, and it shook.
So it doesn't appear to be alive.
No, it doesn't.
Oh no.
You see,
Oh,
give
Tiny
me
Strahd.
a perception roll.
I'm gonna roll as well since I'm right up there.
There's really no need.
Yes, there is. My 15's
I
good
want to
enough.
see what you recognize of this. Did I get one from Victor?
No, you got one. Oh,
There we go.
is he?
All of you turn and you instantly, your eyes lock on, laying in the middle of the floor is the puppet that Sylvia had.
But did we ever know that she actually had it, though?
We did see. I think we saw it like near the end of the fight.
We know that she had it. We don't know if that is an arcane.
You know that she got it in the toy shop, and that's all you really clearly remember was that she was fascinated with the thing, and this looks like that same hand puppet that she had.
Yeah,
no.
Epotus goes to cast Chill Touch on.
I will flip down my eye patch. Do I see anything undead?
Let me see what its nature is here. I've got to check to see what exactly it is considered. No, you do not see undead with your eye patch.
Okay.
And
What
you
do
have
see with your special eyes?
and you have already cast Chill Touch on it, Epotus.
Yeah, anything besides the three other dudes with me is getting.
It takes the full damage. And the doll jumps up and begins running at you. Roll for initiative.
So aren't you glad we have a whole little bit of time to prepare for?
I'm ready.
Woo! I act tomorrow.
Epotus lays down and takes a nap.
And why did that not show up? I had it selected, but it did not show up.
Wow, we had 2 natural 20s for the initiative.
Yeah, man.
Here we go. I'm all good, lad. Can you read
It
me
had
a
an
story?
18. It was there. I don't know why it didn't go on to the roll. Duroc, you're first again.
You need
Do
to
I
roll a
see?
natural.
Do I see it's running towards us in a way to attack or trying to get away from us?
You
Like,
don't know. You know it's running straight for your group.
I'm going to attempt to grapple it.
Crush it!
I roll athletics, right? No.
You're going to have to move
Yeah,
a long
athletics.
ways to grapple it. You're going to run all that way?
Oh wait, where? Oh, it's not.
No, it's running at us. It's not near us.
I thought it was like over here and it was just not showing up at us. Nope, never mind. In that case,
You could move to intercept it and be like, when it gets to me, I'm gonna grab.
this is my full movement. If I have my spear out, will I be able to hit it?
As long as it is not a
within
dash,
5
as
feet?
long as you do not take a dash, you can still do an attack.
Okay, then I am going to go ahead, move, and I am. big is this puppet?
It's a hand puppet, so it's like
It's a hand puppet. Okay. I'm gonna drop the spear and shield, and I'm gonna take out the great axe. Not raging this time.
And that is a
And
non-magical weapon, right?
Non-magical weapon.
Second one doesn't hit at all. The first one hits, but it seems to only barely graze it.
I'm confused. And I end my turn.
Victor.
All right. Let's see. Victor is just repulsed by this thing, and he's gonna go ahead and throw some fire at it.
Burn it with fire!
Wow, just not rolling well today.
Yeah, 23 hits it. And... Yeah. So it takes the full 6 damage. And it is Vlad's turn.
Vlad is going to cast Sacred Flame. Boy, my rolls are really all over the place today. DC 17 Dexterity saving throw or 9 points of Radiant Damage.
I want to check something. I just noticed on yours your name was wrong, and I want to check everybody's here on something. I changed all these to be your second characters, and yet it's back to being your regular ones. I don't understand. So it's a good thing you guys were at full hit points on the other characters. I don't know why these are suddenly your others. I had them as the copies, and it's gone back to the regulars. And I don't know why it's done that. Very odd, because I very carefully went through and changed them all to your second sheet thing. Anyway, so back to what we were rolling. And you cast Sacred Flame. And it takes 9 radiant damage.
9.
9, the mighty 9. All right, the doll is going to attack Dirok. It reaches up with one hand that has small claws on it, and it tries to scrape you with its claws, and it brings up the other hand and it has a tiny dagger.
Oh, god damn it, it's Chucky.
And it tries to stab you with the dagger as well, so it's doing a kind of thing on you. The claw misses.
Yep.
And so does the knife.
Alright.
POTUS.
Well, looks like if I move, I could get next to Dirac, so I will do that. And then I will take a couple stabs. With the
As
sunblade.
both hit. And that is with the Sunblade, so it takes the full damage, 22 damage. Alright. Dirac?
Dirac swings with the Gore Totem once more.
I wonder where you came up with that name.
Yeah, right? It's weird.
Neither of those hit. Neither of those hit. Well armored doll.
Right? I'm just so angry right now without raging because it looks like Strahd.
Oh, you're not raging?
No, I'm not raging.
Gotta take your rage symbol off then. Okay, so Victor, it's your turn.
Alright. Let's see, I was going to close to melee, but Sunblade, I guess I shouldn't. Let's see. So, I guess I'll just throw some more fire over there.
That hits.
I guess I'll just throw some fire.
This little doll has taken quite a few hits from quite a few people, and yet it hardly looks like it's what you would say breathing hard. It just kind of looks up at you with very evil eyes, and that laugh of Strahd comes out of its mouth. It seems to be very durable indeed, yes. Vlad.
Vlad is going to rinse and repeat with Sacred Flame.
And it takes the damage. And it is the doll's turn, and it begins to sing. It sings the same ditty you heard in the crazy house. The devil sits on his dark throne upon the misty pillar. And as it does it, you feel very strange. Let's see here. Won't actually click. So, all creatures in a 30-foot radius. That does not include Vlad, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Okay. So all creatures within a 30-foot radius that can hear it must make a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Sail! Dirac can add 3. No, actually, Dirac can add 4.
Add 4, yeah.
Okay.
And that 4 helps me. I have a 16.
Just making sure that I'm adding the right.
All right. You will. You are frightened if you failed the save. Victor, you are frightened and must retreat from the doll. You can go anywhere you want, but you cannot go towards the doll. You must retreat. At the end of your next turn, you will make another wisdom save, and you must break it, or you'll have an additional effect on you, which I will tell you at that time. POTUS, it is your turn. You are not feared.
Yeah, so POTUS will cast Wrathful Smite again. And then this time he will do 2. Guessing neither of those hit.
I'll look. Actually the 14 hits, but I don't believe this would count as a creature.
Does not count as a creature.
No. So
moving around and attacking, would it be a construct?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't say constructs are immune to it.
It says if the first part you'll roll your d6. The second part, if the target is a creature, it must make a wisdom save or be frightened of you. That part won't apply.
Your Wrathful Smites have done nothing so far.
God,
but you can
it's supposed to be like the strongest spell I have.
But you can do. Give me a 1d6 for the psychic damage. And make sure that it's not. No. Okay, so it takes 10 and 2 is 12 damage. Dirok.
Let's go swinging. No.
Second one definitely hit. And that's a non-magical that you're using.
Yep.
And that is... So that will be... Okie doke. Anything else before we move on? Victor, you have to retreat.
I forgot something in the other room. I'll be right back.
Hey, get back here.
Vlad stares as Victor runs past him and it does a double take and looks back at the puppet. It is your turn.
I found it. I'll be right back.
What's so scary about this thing? Its song is
I'm not scared. I forgot this, and I pick up some.
And he holds up his backbone. Okay, Vlad, it's your turn.
Vlad is going to... What? I don't understand. This song is rather annoying. I think I'll stop. And I will cast Silence. Before I do, as I'm casting it, I say, Dirok, don't let it leave. And I'll cast Silence. So, it can't sing, which means, you know, that's good.
Yep, the song ceases, which means that Victor will not have to make a save on his next turn.
Oh, didn't I already end the effect?
That will end the effect, yes.
I thought I ended it before, though.
No.
You have to make a wisdom.
No, you would be under the effect of this until the end of your next turn, where you had to make another save, and there was something else that would happen in addition to the fright. But now everything has ended. You are no longer frightened, and you do not have to make the secondary save. So you are no longer affected. The puppet growls very angrily and shows sharp fangs at you, Dirok, and attempts again to claw. Tries again to claw and knife you. You can tell it's growling because there's kind of like foam coming out of its mouth, but you can't hear a thing from it.
Both hit me.
Pardon?
Both hit me.
And yes, they do. I was looking to see if there was any disadvantage things on it, but there isn't. So it, well, I guess it would have even with it. So you will take the damage shown there. You only take the 10, of course, on the second one. not the 5.
Oh, that's right. So +5.
Yeah, you don't take the 5. You take a total of 20 damage. The 5 was the critical, but it didn't roll the critical.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking when I did stuff, but yeah. All right, I'm good.
Okay, POTUS, it's your turn. Those of you who are over at the bend can start to see down hallway that seems to head back towards where you were a bit.
Fuck you, Robert.
18 and 9, both of those are hits, and they are magical, so... The puppet has taken a lot of damage, but it doesn't look but a little bit worse for wear. It's still going strong. Deerock, it's your turn again.
I dropped the great axe, and I'm gonna tackle that puppet. I'm gonna grapple it. Yeah.
It is so tiny, you are going to have disadvantage.
I'm gonna have disadvantage.
Yes, because you're trying to grab this little thing.
And I'm not raging, so it won't equal out. Alright. So, athletics. Here. Nope, I keep clicking on the wrong windows. Athletics would be a 12. Oh, it slips right out of my hands. It's a slippery little one.
It just runs around like this fast little thing. It just laughs at you with Strahd's voice. Maddening. But you can't hear it. You can just see its mouth open. And the fake blood is hanging and painted on the sides of its face. Victor.
All right, Victor runs back into the hall.
With his backbone.
Yep, and let's see. I am gonna throw in some more fire.
Kill it with fire. That hits for another 8.
I also forgot something.
Something you need to do?
I actually have more health because of my temporary hit points.
Ah,
so
yeah.
I got rid of my temporary hit points.
Okay, Vlad?
Vlad is going to cast Sacred Flame. There we go, that's some good damage.
That did a bunch to him. His cape is no longer billowing. Referring to the billowing cape from the other campaign, is no longer billowing. It's kind of hanging and starting to look a little burnt now. It's not looking quite the same as it did. It's drooping now instead of heroically billowing behind it. But the doll tries again to slicey stabby at Deerock. Oh, the first one isn't so good, but the second one.
Laughing at it.
Second one hits you, right?
Nope. 16.
Ah, okay. So both of them miss, and it is POTUS's turn. Woohoo!
Oh, wow.
On the crit, I'm doing a 3rd level divine.
Ow. That's what, 8d4 times 2?
Okay, so we've got 22, 30, 40, 51, 63. Let's see. You wipe it out.
That is... Wow.
And then he put his kicks at the ash.
There's just like a little pile of ashes.
Good riddance.
And for one last moment, a little tiny hand comes out and goes, that's the last you see of it. You are out of combat again.
Vlad will begin. Give me about 10 minutes. I can stop any more magical surprises from happening, and I'll begin to ritual cast.
So you guys rest for about 10 minutes in the hallway.
Yep, I'm grabbing my weapons that I've dropped.
Okay. 10 minutes go by, and the only sound you hear is the doors to the north of you occasionally have a sound like wind blowing through them. But that's the only sound. It is dead quiet down here.
Which
Quiet.
door to the north did we hear it from?
Both of the doors to the north have a sound like wind whistling around a corner.
Alright. I think once we're closer to the end, I'm gonna try inspecting.
And what are you inspecting the doors for?
Or not really inspecting, seeing about trying to sneak in, I guess. But I'm waiting for Vlad's detect magic to go up.
Does want to take magic finish?
So are you detecting magic?
If my detect magic finishes, then
I wasn't sure. What was your ritual you were casting?
detect magic.
Okay. All right, so...
If the 10-minute passes before we do anything else, and I can see magical.
Give me, would you actually put it up? I've got to see if these things respond to what you've got.
Throw up the spell definition, you said?
Yeah, put the, yeah. Okay, you do not see any magic in the hallway except from the pile of ashes that used to be a puppet and from the stairs behind you.
From the stairs or from the puddle?
From the stairs.
I would avoid those stairs. Do I know the type of...
It would be it doesn't say specifically, but it would be a transformation spell.
You cut out, what?
Would be a transformation spell of some kind.
And those stairs going up, not down.
Those stairs are going up.
I would stay away from these stairs. There's some sort of spell over them. And those ashes are still magical.
I would rather go downstairs than up anyway.
I will blast the ashes again with Sacred Flame, just for good measure.
They blow all over the bend in the hallway, and now there's a faint magical glow all over the area of the bend down here. Just a dusting of light magical looking effect.
It's glitter!
Right.
Victor, come roll in it.
No.
You said it was this door that was having...
Both sets of doors in this hallway are.
Dude,
Take a look around the corner.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
You
There's
see
anything...
a hallway disappearing beyond you and bending back from the way that you came towards the chapel.
I think this just leads towards the initial chapter.
Yeah, let's.
Yes.
Victor consults his map. Looks like it. Also, what's up with the purple ground there?
I don't know. Let's not touch it.
The stone there appears to be stained.
Well, let's leave that alone.
Can I at least inspect it to see what it might be stained of?
It looks like some kind of liquid has run over the floor at some time.
You cut out.
It looks like some kind of liquid has run over the floor at some time that was some kind of purple grayish color.
Okay. I'll go back with the rest and head back to the door that I wanted to try going through. I will slowly open the door with my shield hand, and I have my spear ready in case something comes to attack.
Yeah, POTUS is kind of
And
on the other side of the door.
okay. And just inside the door, you can see what looks like a broken down grating or bed of some kind that probably once held a mattress. It's in pretty bad shape there, but it's just a piece of it there. And as you open up the door further, you are able to see further into the room.
Yeah, I open it all the way, and I take like a step forward, ready to attack anything that I see.
All right.
If I see anything.
That point, you would see what looks like women in nurses' uniforms, only they are basically ghoul-shaped. They are hideous-looking, deformed, undead-looking creatures. And one of them yells, "You won't have the drawings! No, they're ours!" And it begins...
I bet I could do that better.
All three of them begin to lumber towards the door.
I let out a yell, letting them know that, hey, I found something bad.
Ghoul nurses. Okay, relate.
What am I thinking of? Silent Hill now? I don't know. I know that there's nurses in some kind of game. I just can't remember what.
Yeah, Silent Hill.
It is Silent Hill. Okay.
Okay. What are you doing, Dirok, before we decide what's going on? Are you going to continue to move in?
No, I'm standing my ground, growling.
Okay, they are moving.
Shield up, spear up.
All right, they all move towards you. I'll just take the group of them and lumber them towards you a bit. And
I'm assuming the POTUS is in here with me.
Yep.
Get them in the choke point.
Exactly.
all right, since you are standing your ground, roll for initiative.
You said roll for initiative? Oh wow! First time I get bad rolls for my +5.
Are we all rolling initiative, or is it only Ghost?
I think it's all of us.
All right.
Okay.
They have the first move, and as they move towards you, they lift their hands in a clawing-like fashion, and their other hand reaches into a pocket and pulls out an enormous syringe. And they start for you. Okay, they can move 20. Let me get a general idea of distances here so that I have some idea. Yeah, that one makes it pretty easily. That one makes it pretty easily. And that one just barely makes it. So you've basically got the 3 nurse sisters here up in your face. And 2 of them on the right are going to attack Apotus, and the one on the left is going to attack Dirok. They claw and attempt to stab you with the syringe. This is Dirok's. Ooh.
I can't see. I had to restart.
You got crit, dude.
I did.
Yep, an 18 on the first one for 10 slashing, and a crit on the second one for 15 piercing, and it has a special effect. We'll deal with that in a moment. Let me roll the 2 for Apotus here. Claw, syringe on number 1, claw, and syringe on number 2. So we got a lot of pages here to go through.
Okay, so I get hit with okay.
So first thing, Dirok, you'll be taking 15 damage between the slashing and piercing. Then I need Dirok to give me a DC 15 con save.
DC 15. Oh, I don't have my window up anymore for that because I had to restart this. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I just needed to scroll up.
Yeah, the first 2 are yours, but the crit 28 is yours.
All right. You said I need to do a con save?
Yes.
26. I am constituted.
Okay, so you managed to save. So you don't take the. She does not manage to draw any blood out of you. Now down to Apotus. Did you do your damage? I need you to give me.
So.
Let's see. You need to do a con save. You need 2 con saves actually, because I think both of them hit.
No, the 18 does not hit me.
Okay. So so just 1, and you did your save, so you don't take any additional damage. It is Apotus's turn.
Okay, so I took in total. I think I took in total 30 damage. That was 7 from the slashing, and then 12 piercing, and then an additional half from 23. So it's 19 because the 12 plus the 7, and then an additional 11. So I think I'm down.
I don't have there. You'll have to look on here.
Yeah, so Epotus is going to pick up his shield, and he is going to roar out in Draconic, Nikrianusu, and Conquer Presence.
I didn't get these things connected to what they were, so I'm having to real quickly throw in what their armor class and so forth is, so that I know what I'm. Okay.
So all three of them need to give me a wisdom saving throw.
All right. I will start with the one on the left. Wisdom. 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 And it is DC what? 16.
16,
so two.
only the middle one saved.
Yep, the middle one saved. Does it take anything?
No damage.
All right.
Just
And the other two, what?
the other two are frightened of me, so they
All
have
right.
disadvantage on attack rolls and skill. And that's my turn.
Okie doke. Victor.
Alright, since they are conveniently bunched together, I'm gonna drop a moonbeam on all three of them. Nice!
17. Okie doke. And I'm going to do something here. They're going to vanish for a moment. Don't worry about it, because I'm going to do a quick copy of the one that I stuck all the information on so that I can. Okay, now I've got the information on them. So they all take 17 damage. Should have taken the damage off before I copied them, and then I would have saved myself all the typing. Alrighty, Vlad. And why? Oh, because I know why. What was their, do you happen to remember what their role was? Oh, I can look back.
I believe they went after Duroc, but before Apollo.
18.
No, yeah, they had a roll of 18, so they went there first in the initiative order.
Because I don't want one to disappear and the others not have a turn showing. And we're going to put them all three up, but they'll all go at one time on the 18.
Vlad will cast Bane on these.
Okay.
It is a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw, I believe. Charisma saving throw. And if they fail, it's minus D4 to all ability checks, saving throws, and attack rolls.
Epotus, your special fearing effect is considered a condition?
Yes, it gives them the frightened condition.
Which means they have disadvantage on ability checks, but not saving. Yes.
For 1 second, they kind of draw back, and then they stare you down, and they don't look like they're frightened anymore. Vlad, yours? How does it read?
It just says I choose 3 creatures.
But what is
Within
the
range.
condition that they have?
It's not a condition. They just subtract a D4 from every.
All right, so yours it won't apply to. On Epotus's frightened, however, it applies. So they don't look like they're frightened anymore. Let's see. Let me put up something or other here to indicate Bane. I'll just put this on to indicate that they've got a condition on them, so we'll remember. Alrighty, let me. Yep, they're in the right place. So we are up to Duroc again. Yep.
I fly into a rage, and
Arr.
I'm going to attack the leftmost one.
Okay.
since none of them are feared anymore. And I will attack with the Blood Spear.
That hits. That hits for 27 damage.
And I end my turn.
And it is a POTUS.
Fine. Breath.
Okay, dexterity save, starting from the left. 1, 2, 3. And that is 13, so again, that middle one seems to be very capable of saving.
With the boss.
Alright, so the middle one takes half, so we've got 11. And 11. And 5. Alrighty. They stabby and clawy with their syringe. Trying to draw blood out of you. The phlebotomist from hell. This won't hurt a bit. Hold still, dearie. POTUS. That's Dirok, excuse me. Let's start with Dirok and do his. First one doesn't hit, the second one doesn't hit, so you are safe.
Keep in mind it's subtracting a d4 from all attack rolls, ability checks, and saving.
Let's just worry about that if they hit.
Yeah. And now on a POTUS, draw syringe on the first one.
Miss.
That one is a miss. Second one, claw, syringe. 16, the 20 minus 4, does that hit?
It's a 20 minus 1 would be a 19, so yeah, could we get a d4 roll for against the syringe? Because if it's a 2 or more, then they miss, but if it's a 1. Yeah!
Okay.
All missed.
Alright, so they all missed. And it is Victor's turn.
Alright.
You shouldn't move around, Gary. This'll hurt more.
I agree. Don't move around. I like you right there. And I'll toss some fire on the one in the middle.
And the 2 on the right side saved. So first one takes 15. And the next 2 take 7. And the one in the middle takes 9. To bring her down to more like what the other ones have. They're all still looking pretty hale. They're so rotted that these attacks, they're just kind of like cauterizing the wounds to a certain extent on them. And Vlad, it is your turn.
Vlad is going to simply cast Sacred Flame on, let's say...
And I'm going to say, you guys never actually said it, but I'm going to say you finally fully opened the doors.
You cut out a bunch there, what?
Though you guys never actually said it, I'm going to officially say you fully opened the doors. Because technically
I only opened the door. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so 11 damage on which one?
The one in the middle.
Dirok.
I'm attacking the leftmost one again. Oh!
Second one definitely hit for 26.
And that ends my turn.
Epotus.
Gonna go for focus on that middle one because it's seemingly a pain in the. Are they? Do they appear to be undead?
Yes.
And then on that middle one, I'm going to blow another first level Divine Smite, which is undead, so it's technically an additional 1d8.
Okay.
So that's a total of.
So is it all against one?
Yeah, it's all against the middle one.
Okay. So we've got
49.
20. Okay. The middle one finally is starting to look like she's taken a little bit of damage. There's a lot of flesh falling off, and one of her ribs drops out on the floor. But she continues to wave that syringe at you guys. And so they proceed to take their turn. The left one on Dirok. Let's get his. And she claws and stabs. And does the Bane have a minus? It has a -4 on the attack, and does it also have it on save? -4 D. I know D4. Yeah, that's not the point. Does it also have it on saves versus Epotus's attacks and things like this?
Ability checks,
Okay.
saving throws, and
Want to make sure, because although it wouldn't have affected it, I forgot to actually think about that when Victor was using his moonbeam, so I need to remember that. All right, so that is a miss. That is a miss. That doesn't apply on anything. So the middle one attacks Epotus with claw and syringe. 15, 14, those won't be hits. The right one. All right, those, even if it subtracts 4, will still be hits, correct? 20 and a 22 will still be hits.
Yep.
So you take 9 plus 12, 19 9 slashing and 12 piercing damage, 19 total. All right.
And then I need to give you a save.
Now you need a con save. You saved. We're up to.
Take 11.
Yep.
I'm at 14.
Victor.
Also, the turn order looks screwed because Epotus is below me, even though he has a higher roll than me.
Actually, what the problem was, I think, was where I stuck them. They are at the top of the turn order. They should have been above Epotus, is what I think it actually should have been, so that it would be right. But we'll do it. There we go. Anyway, Epotus is, Victor is up. Go ahead. Let's see. Victor did his. All right, so they have to basically, well, they'll roll a d4 if they need to. So con save on all 3 of them. Left, middle, right. And it's a 15. The first one, even if it rolls a 4, will save. So the last one has to roll a d4 to see if she rolls above a 1. All right, so only the first one saved on the left. So the first one, close, will you? Clicked it 3 times. First one will take half, which is 8. The middle one will take the full kit and caboodle, which is 17. And the last one will take 17. The one on the right is the one looking like it's in the best shape. And then another, let's see, okay, so another 7. Which one was that, the produce flame on?
On the middle, but I assume it missed.
It missed, so, okay. So we are now up to Vlad again.
Vlad is going to walk up behind Apotus, and you're looking a little bit rough, my friend. Cast Cure Wounds at second. Plus 4 is 15. No, plus 4 is 19 points restored, and I regain 4.
Okay, 1 second. I got to do something here as I watch our time. Okay. Yeah, all the other, I don't know why I'll have to change it back because this won't work. I'm going to have to go back to your other tokens. It's crazy that it didn't take on those, but it took on all the others. Alright, so I've got to revert some other tokens. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just copy these when we get there. I don't know if I can do this in the interest of time. It slows us down. Goodness. And Vlad. And Victor. Alright, I've got you set back to the regular ones for anything else that we need. Alright, and so you did your cure wounds and they are done that, so Dirok, it is your turn. Dirok, it's your turn.
Alrighty. Gonna keep attacking the left one.
Those are hits.
It's only the 9, not +8.
Right. 21.
And that ends my turn.
And they do their attacks. Let's start with Apotus, or with Dirok, I mean. Does claw and syringe. Oh! Alright, I've got to do some D4s here. Let's see.
Yeah, the claw's gonna hit, syringe is gonna need the...
Go ahead. You're raging?
Yes, I'm raging. Well, the raging doesn't matter with the attack roll, it's the...
No, the slashing I'm saying, so you'll take
half... slash, I take 5 damage.
Right. You need to remember to put your raging symbol up so that I know whether you're taking half damage or not on things. So I'm trying to put it...
I have a countdown timer for my rage.
Yeah, but I just need a symbol so that I know that you're taking half damage. It helps me know whether you take full damage or half damage. All right. Then on the other one, I have to roll a d4.
The syringe needs a bane roll.
Yes, what I'm doing.
I don't know if that hits me or not.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, I thought Vlad had to roll.
Okay, it does not hit you.
Whew. Okay.
All right. So we take the next one on Apotus. Middle one attacks, claws, and syringe. Misses, misses. I'm assuming, yep, both miss. And the one on the right, syringe hit, but even a 1 will miss you, right? So,
Yes.
yeah, that's a miss. All right, so we are up to you, Apotus.
Well, second verse, same as the first, right to the middle.
Both hit. 31 to the middle one, you said?
Yep.
She is looking really bad, and it looks like one leg is about to fall off, actually.
Why
Not
won't
good.
you stay dead?
Victor, give me your moonbeam.
Alright. Yep, gonna rinse and repeat, I think. Oh, not very good on that. Wow, that was a sad turn. That was a very
Alright.
sad turn.
It
15, so I need 2d4 rolls. All right, the first one rolled a 21. The last one rolled a 14, so the last two failed. All right, so the first one takes only half, which is 3. The other two take the 7 or the 6 for the moonbeam. And the flame was on the middle one, but you missed. Okay. All right, so we are up to Vlad.
Vlad is going to. I can't see Derek and Apotus' health bars.
I haven't been hit since the first strike of the fight. I'm fine.
Alright. I am going to cast. Sacred Phlegm again at the. Snake Eyes!
Right. Watches, that's all you need, too.
Hold on, my roll 20 is freezing up. I'm trying to open up that last bit of map there, and it doesn't want to.
I would cast Spiritual Weapon, but Bane seems to be the main thing that's keeping me from hitting you.
Yeah.
All right, and the Sacred Flame was on which one?
The one in the middle.
Just so you know, spiritual weapon doesn't take concentrate.
Oh, yeah.
All righty.
In that case, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
What kind of weapon?
I'll just make it an
Spiritual.
extra sword.
A what? A
Spiritual
sword? We'll just. And which one is it attacking?
Same one, the one in the middle.
Okay. So there's a sword attacking the one in the middle. We'll just remember that so I don't have to drag that out. And 20 hits for 12 damage. All right. Now you managed to knock out both of her legs, and she is now down. Her head is about waist high, but she's still stabbing with that stupid syringe.
Why don't one of you take those syringes away?
Dirog.
Of the left and middle one, which one's more damage? Is it that middle one?
Middle one, yep.
Alright, I'm gonna switch tactics, and I'm gonna start attacking the middle one. If I can get the correct window to come up.
Those are both hits. And the syringe clatters to the floor. All right. It is We still have the nurses attacking. One attacks Dirok and one attacks Epotus. So on Dirok, she does her claw and stab. And
Both miss.
Yeah, they won't miss, and even if they did, it would be right on the line, so it wouldn't have. So both miss, and on Epotus, misses. All right, Epotus, your turn.
Alrighty. Let's hit the close one.
She's the most hale and hearty of the bunch, so she needs to be taken down a notch or two. Both. Let's see. Only the second one hits. Only the second one hits for 15 damage. Any other attacks put on that?
Nope, I'm pretty straightforward.
Victor, give me it again.
Alrighty. Alright.
Both of them failed. And produce flame hit as well for another 9 on which one?
Whichever one looks in worse shape.
Left one.
Alright.
That one now, her legs, the flame actually strikes the ichor leaking out of her from all the wounds and ignites it and burns her legs to the knees, and they just crumble into ash, and she drops like the middle one did, where she's stabbing up towards Dirok now. So she's on. She's.
Does that technically make them prone?
No, they're not prone. They're just short. They're halflings. Vlad.
Same thing. Vlad is going to hit with his spiritual weapon.
And the middle one is
on the left.
left. All right. That is a hit. That one's in pretty bad shape.
Then cast where's Sacred Flame? Let's say.
You are up against one. Dirok.
Execution.
And my shoulder falls off.
Sounds like it hurts.
Yeah, it does. Alright, I move a little closer. Am I within stabbing range of my spear?
Yeah, you're fine. You're very close.
Alright, I am going to attack recklessly. Yes!
And are those, does Reckless give you advantage?
It gives me advantage, it gives her advantage if she attacks me.
All right, so she takes a 24-32 damage.
Yeah, that sounds right. 18, 14 should be 32.
Okie doke. It is her turn. And she will definitely attack you. Claw. Syringe. All right, let's see if I need a...
The
Four,
claw will
yeah,
hit no matter what.
Right, the second
syringe
one I will roll.
I mostly am keeping Bane up for the syringe.
And
Syringe hits me
the
then.
second one hits as well. So first you take 15 slashing and piercing damage. Now give me a con save.
Hold on. There.
And you said a con save. Ooh, not so constituted.
+4, so
You
7.
take.
I get a +4?
Yeah.
Oh, right, a POTUS.
Yep.
So 17.
Okay, so that saves.
Okay.
So you managed to avoid blood loss. You only took the piercing damage. Epotus.
I am really tired of these things. Damn it.
Woo!
And then, yeah, I'll let that.
Okie doke. So,
Crits all over the place.
yeah, there you go, critting all over the place. Let's see what we've got. We've got 24 and
Well, of
24.
course, this is a dream.
So 48 damage. She's in real bad shape. You cut her off at the knees. There's not much left of her.
Does she count as prone?
No, she counts as short. Victor.
Alright, let's see if we can burn her the rest of the way.
I forgot that I...
Burn her!
Burn, baby, burn!
Just go and burn it.
She does save. Even if she rolls a 4, she saves.
Fortunately, the better half of that was the flame this time.
Yep. So she took
Unfortunately for her.
5 plus, that's 20. You are out of combat.
Yeah.
Well, that seemed to go better than expected.
Are you kidding me?
Not dead. I'll tap Durok and Apotus both on the shoulder and use my last... No, I cast that at second level. I will use 2 of my 3 remaining spell slots to cast...
Really, though, if you're going to dress ghouls up like nurses, you should make them more attractive. That's all I'm saying.
Nurse!
+3 to
Nurse!
Plus what to each?
+3 to each of those, and I am back at full health.
And who is it Durak, then Apotus, or Apotus, then Durak?
Apotus is the top one, and Durok is the second.
Okay, so I add 2 to it.
Yes. Durok gets 10, and Apotus gets 11.
I wanted to take a look at this painting because it looked like they were surrounded. This paint, or whatever this is, I guess. It looks like a painting to me.
It is, but it is actually a childish drawing. There are several of them in this pile, and it looks like possibly somebody was having a child draw its experiences, and it looks like they're drawing scary things that happen to them. And there's like people trying to stab them, and there's bats coming at them, and all kinds of horrible pictures on these childish scrawls of people running from horrible creatures.
Vlad is going to set about destroying these bodies, making sure they don't come back.
Very good.
Do I see where I heard the wind coming from? Because I thought I heard wind coming from this room.
The minute that the nurses died, the wind ceased.
I look to the others. Do you hear that?
No.
Exactly. There was wind blowing into this room before we came in. We killed those creatures and it stopped. I think it might be the same with the next room to our right. I'm pointing to where the door in the hallway would have been.
Then we should skip that one entirely.
Nowhere else to go but the stairs then. and you said you didn't want to go up there.
Well, unfortunately, yes.
So, do we want to check the room or do we want to go to the stairs?
Won't we check the room first? Here. Dude, are there, like, door latches on the outside of it?
Uh,
Is it one
no,
of
but
those
they're
things where you
rather heavy doors. You suspect that probably undead would probably have difficulty moving them, or they would have opened them long ago.
but it doesn't look like it can be barred from the outside?
No, there are some handles on the door that if you like stuck a spear through it or something, it would keep them from opening. But there
That's
is
what I was hoping. Vlad will go over to some of this ruined furniture over here and break it down into not small, but lengthy pieces that will be able to slide in between these.
there ought to be plenty of slats and long pieces on the bed that would be able to serve for that.
Okay, so here is the plan. The plan! We go into the next room. We peek in. If there are monsters there and no exits, we simply close the doors and bar it. They can't get out, and we continue on our way.
Agreed.
Works for me.
Alright.
So we do that. Dirok, I think it is best if you take the lead. You are the strongest one of us, I think.
All right.
Or what you put this, one of the two. Vlad is waiting on the other side with the slats in order to push them through if they need.
Okay, 1 second here. All right.
This time I want to stealthily try to open the door. Can I roll stealth to see if I can do that?
You can indeed. They will
can
roll.
certainly
And the podcast thaumaturgy.
Right. Son of a bitch.
I'm not gonna say I wasn't thinking about it.
I actually was thinking about it, but then it slams open, and I would have to probably, like, actually go into the room to grab both doors and do that. I would rather try to be able to do this with one door. The one time I'm actually thinking that it could be a good use, but then I'm like, wait, nope, hold on. I remember it slams open. Alright, so...
Mouse over that 17 and take a look at it.
What about the 17?
Mouse over it.
18 plus minus 1.
Yeah. Hey, with that bad a wisdom, they still beat you. So there is just nowhere to hide on these doors. The minute they start to creak open, anything in the room will see them moving if they are looking at all in the direction of the doors. And
right.
so
I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna hold the door handle, and I'm gonna push it open so I can see inside if there's anything inside.
You see piles and piles of refuse. And crawling up out of the piles of refuse are 2 of those same nurse-looking things.
And I am immediately shutting the door.
Vlad pushes the slats through.
Oops.
This reminds me of that one meme I saw, and it was something about a party traveling through an underground mountain dungeon, and they find a room with a 10-foot wide, 10-foot tall door. They open it, and there's a 15-foot tall monster that is close to it.
Oh, he crawled on his hands and knees, I guess. All right, so those doors are now effectively latched. All right, there is nowhere but up.
Nowhere to go but up.
I'll take point.
And I'll go up the stairs first, shield, spear ready, and I am keeping my eyes open, making sure I'm not going to get surprised by anything.
Surprise!
Yeah, watch, I'm going to get surprised.
Did we detect some kind of trap or magic or something that way?
Some sort of transformative magic.
Yeah.
As Dirok steps up on, he takes about 2 steps onto it, and the stairs flatten and become a steep ramp. And goo, red goo that smells like blood begins flowing down the ramp and pooling on the floor,
Spider walk onto the wall.
pools at Vlad's feet, and let me see. Give me a DC 14 strength athletics check, Dirok. You manage to dig your fingers into a gap between 2 of the stairs, and you are hanging on, kind of on your knees, but slipping and sliding halfway up the stairs.
Victor walks past on the wall, and he's going to turn and just throw a rope back at them. There you go, let's go.
That is not exactly how I anticipated getting past this problem, but useful nonetheless.
So yeah, I'll take the rope and I'm going to start climbing up.
Okay, so you get up to a landing that then turns towards the north, and you come out.
Oh wait, what's that? Oh, it's there.
Victor looks at his rope, like, covered in goo, and says, I think I'm going to get some more of that later. I'm leaving that here.
All right, you come out into a section of the manor that actually has some light. It's not as dark.
I'll take point again, and I'm gonna look around.
From this direction over here, you hear gay laughter, happy laughter coming out of the room, and the tinkling of glasses and chatter between people like a friendly. The sounds are very definitely like the sounds of a festive family dinner.
Nothing on my right side?
Nothing more than what you can see there. I mean, there's some doors down to your right side, but nothing in the hallways.
Seeing as I heard stuff there and not from this side, I'm going to move down towards here to see if I can't notice anything else, if I can hear anything.
Okay, give me a perception roll.
Alrighty.
You don't hear a sound coming from there. It's very quiet.
Alright, and I'll move back. I'm sure that the other 3 probably hear.
Were you listening? Let me clarify. Were you listening at this door or this door?
I would have gone to the door closest to me, so this one first.
Okay. Did you also go up and listen to the other one?
I would have checked both doors, yeah.
There is a slight bubbling sound coming from the upper door.
A wobbling? That's
Bubbling.
concerning. Alright, I'm gonna go back and relay what I'm hearing. Yeah, I hear, and I'm pointing towards the left side of the hall. I hear people talking, and sounds like someone's festivities. The other one to the right, and I point to the one that you told me that I heard bubbly noises, is a little more concerning. I think it's probably another one of those ooze monsters.
we want to check any of these doors, or do we want to continue down the hallway?
Let's check these festivities first.
Alrighty.
Vlad will take some. While Durak is checking the festivities, Vlad will go to this bubbling door and slide more slats through it.
Okay, there's only one handle on that door. It cannot be latched.
Okay. Can I? Nope, that is going.
Do you want to come here in case this door is bad and we need to latch it?
Yes. Let me take a. Let me come over.
Okay.
I would like to try to stealthily open the door again.
Very good. Give me your stealth roll.
Please be a bad wisdom roll, please.
Bonus is watching all these other doors while Durak and Vladislav are clearly aggroing everything.
Right.
Look somebody up real quick here and look his sheet. He rolled a 13, so. But
not gonna happen,
when
but
you
yeah.
open the door, you see a dusk elf. He has a very straight back and the manner of a valet or a butler type. He is carrying a large covered silver tray, has a big domed cover on it, and it is a very large tray, probably 3 feet long, and the dome is quite large over it. If there's a roast inside this covered tray, it's a very large roast. He slightly looks to his left as he passes the door and says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to the festivities." And proceeds.
Can I peer inside?
Can what?
Yeah, the room is still dark for us.
Can I
Oh.
peer inside and flip down my iPad?
Excuse me. All right. He is undead, but the aura around him has an odd color to it. As he turns and looks at Durak with a kind of a snooty look and speaks, you catch a glimpse of fangs. But he pretty much ignores you at the door and proceeds to continue walking in that direction.
Can
I will
see?
take a step into the room.
Yeah, I'm taking a short step into the room. Do I see? I mean, I see people, but I don't think I.
You will
recognize
see
them.
what you see. If you can see people at the table, you see people at the table.
Yeah, I see people. I don't think I recognize them. Do I recognize the Dusk Elf, by the way?
No, you have never seen this Dusk Elf before. And you definitely remember that none of the Dusk Elves you spoke with before appeared to be vampiric. But this one does. He moves over and he sets the tray in the middle of the table as you kind of look around the corner, and you realize that the table is packed with people. He then takes a seat at the end of the table and says, "You are just in time to begin the meal. Do come in, gentlemen. Come in."
Vlad will grab one handlebar, cast daylight right about here, and then close the door.
And I'm gonna close right as well. I was gonna say this is a trap. The moment he starts, I see his movement, I'm closing this other door that I'm right by, and I'm trying to push Epoda's back.
Yeah, What? Oh, right. I did
It is
close my
a
eyes.
60-foot radius, so I'm pretty sure I'm casting it in the corner, so it goes. I'm casting it in the corner, so it goes this way, as well as this way, and I'm pretty sure 60 feet will cover the entire room.
I just wanted to see what those tokens were, if I can recognize any of them. Osili. Yeah, I see a couple I recognize.
You would recognize several. You recognize one very clearly.
This is out of character. I've only actually seen 3 of them before he casted daylight.
All right, you would if you wish to go into this room before he casts daylight. There's a lot of information at this table.
Well, I'm assuming Vlad probably actually went in so that he could see where he's casting.
There's a lot of TPK in there.
There's a lot of TPK in there. That's why I'm open out.
Just be aware that at the 45, there's not a lot of TPK. So are you closing the doors, or are you going to go in and look? Because I need to know what story we're doing.
You're trying to trick us with something very interesting, but it's also going to kill us.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
I
won't work.
threw a flashbang into the magical flashbang.
It won't work, Fate. You trained us too well.
As soon as I saw that Dark Elf have fangs, I was like, yeah, this is just...
Okay, so the doors come closed. Let me close them so that they're visually closed. There is some angry shouting, but not actually much pain sounds coming out of there. There is definite angry shouting, and you hear Strahd's voice.
Daywalkers.
It will not work. You are here until I release you. And then it is quiet in the room, and there is no more sounds coming from the room.
We caught him.
Yeah, we caught him. I also grabbed a javelin. I'm going to grab 2 javelins and make sure that this is extra barricaded.
Well, okay. I'm sliding I was going to say I'm also sliding the leftover slats that I had in between door bars.
Yeah, this one's more important because we're hearing Strahd from this one.
There is mist that oozes around the door frame, under your feet, over your heads, between you. It disappears out of sight, goes this way and this way.
Which way and which way? I didn't see.
Yeah, I wasn't on the map, unfortunately. That way, and that way.
Well, that's the only place left to go.
Well, I mean, we do have other doors. We could check those, but I don't think we don't want to.
Only place left to go.
Yeah.
Are you going to try to stealth open the doors or just open them?
Yeah, I'll stealth open this door again, the one I'm in front of.
Very good. 1 second. Move it up so people can see what we're doing here.
I like that sunlight thing I did. That was a whole lot of nope.
Yep.
Alrighty then. The doors swing open and you see a comfortable looking living room, setting hall, reception hall if you will. And leaning casually against the fireplace at the far end of from you is Strahd, looking his most handsome in a very fine suit and holding a glass of wine. He is standing under a portrait of himself, much in the same pose, only sitting in a rather regal-looking chair, holding a red glass of wine. He lifts the glass to you. You are here at my invitation. It is a shame you did not wish to participate in it. We had a fine roast all prepared for you and special guests to welcome you. We were performing a special amusement to roast one of your friends. I believe he called himself Monarch.
He bonus charges.
I fly into a rage and I'm charging.
He bonus Durocker just like.
Yep, I'm already up in his face. Blood spear in the hand with the shield.
It's all a misunderstanding. It's just a Barovian roast.
I can get.
I'm just gonna say a bunch of mean stuff about Monarch.
Right.
I can get to here. I can't.
We wanted to have your friend for dinner.
See, I was actually thinking it was Sylvia that we're going to be serving. I forgot that we had Monarch to still find.
He was talking about as soon as he was talking about a roast, anyway.
I thought it was Sylvia.
All right, so each of you can give me one action before he has his.
One action?
Yeah, go ahead and do your attack.
So I can get up there.
I'll say that you managed to get up to him. He just stands there very calmly, watching you approach.
Cool. I'm gonna double Sunblade. Actually, no, Durak, you go first. You usually get to go first.
I am going. Well, like I said, I'm in a rage, so I'm gonna double blood spear. Oh no! Yeah.
Then I will double Sunblade. Oh no! We flubbed it on the fight.
Right.
And I have two keyboards and I just typed something on the wrong keyboard. So.
It's the final countdown.
There we go. That's the one I want. All right, so you did, let's see, Gore was a miss and a hit. So he did 12 piercing damage. And Apotus was a hit and a miss. He did 11 radiant damage. And Strahd turns to you. You have just torn my best festival suit. On this, our finest celebration of the year, you wish to come in and act like this. I am disappointed in you. I'm very disappointed in
but
you.
You don't realize the greatest celebration of the year has already passed.
Exactly what I was thinking.
And he turns immediately into a mist. Before he goes up the chimney, He starts to laugh.
Wait, is this a Christmas episode now?
There's all this
Come on,
and we don't have to worry about it later.
Epotus, give me a DC 17 wisdom save.
Am I gonna have to fight him?
Oh no.
The last thing you see as he disappears up the chimney, old Saint Nick, he, I can't, this is so corny I can hardly say it. He begins to sparkle.
Well,
He is that type of vampire.
there were two girls in the banquet room. So those are your girls to fight over.
Oh, I'd love to tell you guys so much. You could have gotten a lot of information from him if you'd been in that room, I'll tell you that. But anyway.
Nope. It's war.
The sparkles twinkle and sparkle like little stars. And Epotus turns entirely charmed by the sparkling lights. And as the sparkles disappear up the chimney, Epotus makes a sigh and goes, "That was beautiful."
You know, are we on the right side?
Yes, very much so. It's
I
time to
don't
kill
know.
us.
What side are you batting for?
I hit him with my shield.
The baddie.
As Strahd disappears, you wake up coming to in the same room you remembered last.
Victor decides to never discuss this.
I'm confused.
You wake up as Strahd disappears. You find yourself on the floor in the room where you were fighting Baba Lysaga, and she is laughing down at you.
Well,
To be
down at them, I'm still upstairs.
Epotus is. Oh wait, no, the silent. No, we can't knock unconscious.
Well, you're all laying on stairs, laying on the floor, all except Sylvia, who's back in the corner.
That really lit up your evening.
And this is where we will take up next week. Same time, right where we left off.
In the immortal words. Fuck you, Strahd.
It's coming.
Sparkled
It's
away.
slowly, but it's coming.
We're right about that time anyways, because it looks like Epotus's camera is turning into a potato.
Yeah, it's been causing you problems. You keep freezing.
Tap. My connection's kind of bad right.
Okie doke, folks. We will see you next week for it. Now, we've got a couple of interesting things coming up in the next couple of weeks on Crone's Crucible. The Mountain Mama Twitch channel has a few things going on, so I will let you know on that. Kyle, Epotus, I'll let you briefly tell them what you've got coming up.
So, starting on November the 10th, there will be a Saturday game being streamed, starring Fate, Yurok, Mink, and 3 new people.
And several others.
Yep. So, look forward to that.
It's an original. It's an original campaign. It is not a module, and so it's in a land called Myrrh. So it's a rather interesting campaign. Mirror.
It's like when Oklahomans drink too much.
Hey!
And I will have some miscellaneous streams coming up, midweeks streams. This
And
Tuesday night, I will be streaming the beta. There's no non-disclosure on this beta because it's only a stress test beta. I will be live streaming the beta for Fallout 76 and will be for its various streams that it will repeat doing that, but those are at odd times, so I'll have to let you know they're scattered and not all together regular. But I will be streaming from time to time on Fallout 76 beta, and then starting on November 14th, I will set up a regular stream probably on Friday mornings for Fallout 76 to see how well an old Crone can manage to survive all the griefers in the wasteland. Apparently, from early results on the first beta groups, it looks like the griefers are having quite a bit of fun with the open PvP world, although they have some punishments for PvPers who try to do that. So we'll see how bad it gets. So it ought to be pretty interesting for me to try and escape the PvPers. We'll see what goes on with that. So tune in on Kyle's episode for Mir, and tune in on the Fallout 76 Fallout Follies for me. And other than that, we hope you have a happy, safe, sane Halloween on Tuesday night. He's got his spear. He's ready to attack you. You can go trick-or-treating with that spear.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want police getting called on.
Yeah, exactly. And, and he's got his flail, so we've got lots of weapons going around here. So we will see you then next week back at the regular Crone's Crucible. Enjoy your week. Start your own game. We hope to see you again. Good night, all.
Good night.